security, 901 to security, Trinity Church.
Evan, look up.
Fucking plane or something hit the World Trade Center.
I'm sorry, do you know?
Something happened at the World Trade Center. It's not good.
Sir?
Mike and I are here. Yeah, we're both standing here. We're looking right at it. It's unfucking believable.
Like a pass, small private jet.
I was out here. I heard two explosions.
Did a plane hit that?
I heard two explosions. Two separate ones.
Small jet. Why the hell is it flying so damn low?
You know what? That could be a suicide.
It goes after
No way.
People, there's another plane coming down. You see?
Shit, what the fuck's going on?
Holy shit, Martin. That's the other building. That's terrorists. Other building? That's terrorists, bro.
Something is happening outside. Let's describe to our viewers what we're seeing. The skies over Baghdad have been illuminated. We're seeing bright flashes going off all over the sky. Peter?
Well, there's anti-aircraft gunfire going into the sky. We hear the sound of planes. They're coming over our hotel. Now the sirens are sounding for the first time. The Iraqis have informed us.
They just cut the line. Get the French on the air.
It wasn't clear from that report whether this was a reaction to the real thing or was the real thing. Wolf, what have you for us at this moment?
There are strong indications here at the Pentagon that this war may be beginning right now, and that the president may be going on television later this evening to explain what exactly is going on. I've been hearing these rumors now all day, no confirmation, but in the last hour...
What's your second line, Andre?
The activity level here at the Pentagon has clearly increased.
What can they show French? Holloman. Baghdad is back. Baghdad right now, David. Tell him to go. Go ahead.
Holloman, I don't know whether you're able to hear me now or not, but I'm going to continue to talk to you as long as I can. The skies of Baghdad have been just filled up with the sounds of gunfire here tonight. I'm going to put our microphone out the window. I think you'll be able to hear this sound.
Let's go to Robert Zito. He's standing by now on the west coast of the United States at San Diego, another important naval base. Robert.
Well, I'm in an apartment complex in San Diego, and I've spent the last few hours with several wives whose husbands are serving aboard ships in the Persian Gulf. And we've all been glued to the television set watching CNN, mesmerized by what we've seen and by what we've heard.
Denise, what was your feeling, your reaction as you watched the events unfold?
I was scared, frightened for my husband, for the guys on the ship, and for the Iraqi people. Because it's come to this, you know. This crazy man has brought us this far. I back my husband up. I'm very proud of what he does and who he is and where he's at right now. But I'm also scared because I want him home.
They say Just 2 hours ago, Allied air forces began an attack on military targets in Iraq and Kuwait. This conflict started August 2nd when the dictator of Iraq invaded a small and helpless neighbor. Saddam was warned over and over again to comply with the will of the United Nations. Leave Kuwait or be driven out. Saddam has arrogantly rejected all warnings. Saddam sought to add to the chemical weapons arsenal he now possesses an infinitely more dangerous weapon of mass destruction, a nuclear weapon. Now, the 28 countries with forces in the Gulf area have exhausted all reasonable efforts to reach a peaceful resolution. Have no choice but to drive Saddam from Kuwait by force. Our objectives are clear. Saddam Hussein's forces will leave Kuwait, and Kuwait will once again be free. This is an historic moment. We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. We have no argument with the people of Iraq. Our goal is not the conquest of Iraq. It is the liberation of Kuwait. It is my hope that somehow the Iraqi people can, even now, convince their dictator that he must lay down his arms, leave Kuwait, and let Iraq itself rejoin the family of peace-loving nations.
In Baghdad, Saddam Hussein shows no sign of budging from his no-compromise stance. Iraqi television has been broadcasting videotape of him with his commanders. Exactly when and where it was shot is unknown. Also on the airwaves, a defiant speech couched in the language of a holy war.
As long as the oppressors and the unjust continue in their conflict, God make this fire falling on Iraqis to be peace and cool on those who are perpetrating jihad. God is great. God is great. God is great.
Israel, which Iraq had promised would be a target of retaliation, the government ordered a state of alert.
The day after our party and the war started.
Republican Guard troops.
Just filming some of the TV, honey, posterity.
5 hours after the airstrikes began, Baghdad radio broadcast a speech by President Saddam Hussein, in which he said the dawn of victory nears as what he called this great showdown begins. Mark Lett, CNN reporter.
President Bush's order sending U.S. troops into war had the consent of Congress, but votes for the resolution supporting the military action were close.
Mr. Sanders of Vermont. I believe that in the long run, the action unleashed last night will go strongly against our interests in the Middle East. Clearly, the United States and its allies will win this war. But the death and destruction caused will not, in my opinion, soon be forgotten by the Third World in general and by the poor people of the Middle East in particular. I fear that someday we will regret that decision and that we are in fact laying the groundwork for more and more wars in that region in years to come.
NBC Nightly News continues with America at War. Here again is Tom Brokaw.
It is called Operation Desert Storm, and this is the latest in the war in the Persian Gulf. The bombing of Iraq and Kuwait now in its second full day. The results so far appear to be right on target. Well over 1,000 bombing raids have taken place. There has been very little resistance so far from the Iraqis. At the Pentagon, NBC's Catherine Couric with how the United States gained the upper hand so swiftly.
We'd be happy to respond to a few questions.
The President mentioned that one of the objectives was to take out chemical and nuclear sites. Can you tell us in a general way if that mission was accomplished?
I can say that we have, in fact, gone after those targets. I do not yet have information on the effectiveness of those efforts.
Now that we've defended ourselves from naked aggression in the Middle East, how do we defend ourselves here at home from terrorist attacks?
I'm confident that we can deal with the terrorist threat. General Powell may want to say
Give us a
nothing.
rundown on the types of aircrafts and numbers that were involved in the raids.
I really can't at this time because it is an ongoing operation. Let me just say that
we're very satisfied with that level of performance on the part of our aircraft. בדבריו קיבלנו תמונות ראשונות של שילוח טילי טומהוק מאוניות המערכה האמריקניות במפרץ. פעול נשאל על יעילותם של טילים אלה. I'm extremely pleased with the effectiveness of the cruise missiles.
I'm here in Jerusalem, in Israel, 17th of January, one day after the beginning of the American attack on Baghdad. Israel is still in a state of alert because we're not sure that all danger from Iraq has been eliminated. And we're sitting in what we jokingly refer to as our bunker. The room is sealed with plastic and taped all the way around, all the windows and the doors, so that no gas can seep in case of a chemical attack. Now everybody is instructed to stay in their rooms and have their gas masks handy. This is a gas mask, and show me how you put it on.
Now wait a minute, I'm not sure I know how to put it on.
Yep, that's it. Are you scared?
No.
No? What do you think about the American attack?
It is great. I mean, I watch it all overnight on CNN and the Israeli TV, and it was great to watch.
Yeah. So, here we are in the bunker.
Yeah, with our French wine.
Yeah. To peace.
Patriote, bordel de merde.
Yeah, we're seeing a Patriot being fired in town. Yeah.
C'est parti, ça tombe là-bas, putain de merde. Oh là 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 là.
Tu peux pas leur en demander une à eux?
Ça va pas.
اضرب اضرب تل ابيب يا صبام يا حبيب اضرب تل ابيب.
עד שאפשר בין לבין נשמע את המילה שלנו גם בשפות נוספות.
מה זה? זה לא נראה.
יש לאטום את מפתן דלת הכניסה בסמרטוט רטוב. תושקו סביב בסרט...
כל תושבי ישראל לחבוש מיד את המסכות ולהסתגר בחדר אטום. לאטום מסביב לדלת בסרט אטום. אחר כך אם יתברר שזו הייתה אזעקת שווא, מה טוב. אבל את הסיבה לאזעקה...
זו הודעה שקיבלנו עכשיו מדובר צה"ל. המזרק ואותם בצבעים שונים ומבוגרים.
אמא, מה העניינים?
הכל 100%, אספי, אני מכינה לכם ארוחת ערב עם המסכה, עם הכל, עוד מעט יהיה מוכן, בהזדקה אנחנו נשב לאכול.
זה הכניסה לחדרים, חבישת המסכות, התארגנות מסודרת.
כאשר יגיע כינוס משפחתי בחדר האטום, יש גם יתרונות למצב הזה.
So just very quickly, we've just been informed that Israel has been hit and we're all sitting here with our gas masks on, being instructed to finish sealing the room. Get into the room, put our gas masks on and just wait. The radio is on, the television is on, and we are waiting for further instructions.
שמענו אותך, גם נזעקנו לאולפן, אתם, אני מקווה, יושבים בחדר אטום.
We're going back now to Jerusalem. I don't want to mislead that there have been missiles sighted in the area of Jerusalem. So far as we know, there have been explosions around the area of Tel Aviv, but not Jerusalem. Is that what you understand, Larry? Now they're learning how to breathe through their gas masks now.
Yes, Reed, first of all, we are told that this was a countrywide alert, and civil defense people are advising Israelis to put on their gas masks very carefully. As you can see, Deputy Foreign Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is here with us during this raid. Bibi, can you tell us what you needed to learn on the telephone?
I must say that this is the darnest way to conduct an interview. But, of course, what it does demonstrate, I think, in a fairly dramatic way, is the kind of threat we're facing. Now, we would like to see that threat removed, and we will take the actions that are necessary to remove it. I cannot tell you when, I cannot tell you where, I cannot tell you how, but we will make sure that Israel is safe.
Saddam Hussein interprets victory in obscure ways. He says the legend of America's rapid war to crush Iraq has been shot down and believes that the longer his forces hold out, the greater the victory. All Muslims should strike at American interests anywhere. Saddam Hussein says it's now time for the holy war to spread.
Well, the threat of terrorism in American cities is being taken very seriously by not only the government agencies, but also the private sector. Corporations are beefing up security, IDs are being checked carefully, and guards are watching surveillance cameras more closely. Police in New York are keeping a close eye on Middle Eastern neighborhoods. News 4's John Miller joins us now with an expert on counterterrorism in New York and around the country as well. John?
You've dealt with terrorist situations hands-on, at least here in New York. What do you think as far as this goes? Will there be terrorist activity? And if there is, will it be here or will it be over in Europe?
Well, regrettably, I think there will be terrorism here this time.
Because of the dramatic media effect of striking in the United States?
And not only well, yes, definitely the media effect, but this will be the first time, and this will be something that Saddam Hussein and his followers, or those people who support him, will be able to point their finger at and say that they could strike at the Western devils.
A pretty grim outlook. Thank you, Frank Pauls.
And as we speak, what's going on in the Middle East? January.
War with Iraq. Day 3, we're winning very, very easily.
And why is your stomach so big?
Cruise missiles are abundant.
And why is your stomach so big? Because food is abundant.
No, it's not.
Can I look at stuff?
We say with all confidence and with all faith,
إيماننا بالله وبقائدنا العظيم صدام حسين.
Faith and belief in God and in our great leader Saddam Hussein.
إن المعركة قد حسمت بالنصر لنا بإذن الله.
That the battle was settled in our favor with the help of God. We are confident of victory and we are heading towards victory.
والحمد لله على كل شيء.
Praise be to God for everything.
Same night, Allied planes were over Baghdad, delivering a massive retaliatory strike for the attack on Israel.
you think this sort of being bold, aggressive, and upfront is the way to go?
Yeah, you bet.
Like United States and Iraq, bold and aggressive. The only way to work.
Kick their ass, all right? You got it, babes.
Saddam,
we're gonna
you're a
kick
dead man.
their
Understand?
ass.
That's
all right?
it. I'm coming there. I'm gonna get you myself.
Blow up Iraq.
Don't forget about last night, Saddam. It's great. Thanks for last night.
Pick on Israel, sure, go ahead. But when I get there, you pick on me.
Okay. When I start flying them jets, baby.
I'd assassinate
Who do you assassinate?
Saddam
Hussein. Saddam Hussein, you'd assassinate him.
I think so. I'd have him assassinated.
Any of you guys want to be in the military at some point?
No, hippie. I'm gonna be in the Air Force.
A-10 Warthog.
Next
Most
year, I'm
powerful
joining
plane on
the
the
Air
earth.
Force.
Do you think the war is a just thing, though?
Well, I think that we should follow our government because they know a lot more than we do about it. So I think that they're right in what they say and what they do.
This is David French in Washington. Larry, I'm sorry to interrupt you this way, but we have word from Charles Jaco in Dhahran that there had been explosions incoming.
Charles Jaco in Saudi Arabia here. There was just a sound of an explosion in the direction of the air base. We've been advised that this area is under threat of imminent attack any second. We should be prepared to go to the base or go to the shelters immediately. We're all preparing to get out. We hear sounds of something overhead, and there was a large explosion in the direction of the air base near here. As you can imagine, we're telling our people to get ready to get out of here and get to shelter as soon as they can.
I'll fold it and go.
That's the sound of an air raid siren here in Riyadh. Don't know if the missiles are coming in or not, but just in case. Just to let you know, it looks like it was another false alarm.
That's Sid and Pepsi.
Just for those of you that wanted to know.
This is not real alcohol.
No, grape juice.
Our earrings off. Yeah, no earrings.
Okay, the Mandrell sisters doing the 7-second drill.
Shave.
Yeah, there you go. Go!
Gas.
7.
Gas. Spray.
4. 3. 2.
Oh, they survived. Yes. Oh, yeah. Everybody who's anybody is wearing a gas mask these days. Okay. This is Pierre. He just came over with the news that the phones are dead. So maybe I was wrong about that being a false alarm. Maybe we got hit and don't know it yet. Okay, here we go again. Maybe we'll catch a scud tonight. There's one. That's it. It just blew it up. Listen. Boom. Yeah, I got it on film. I think one of them might have hit town over there. Boy, it was low.
Did you get the explosion on film?
I think so. I don't know, honey. We'll have to go check it out.
You folks have been riveted here to this coverage from Baghdad. Donna Pointer, what goes through your mind as you see this on the monitor as we've watched it here?
It's good to see that they're continuing and to show Baghdad that we mean business. As far as I'm concerned, they ought to keep going and not let up at all.
What about your sons here, your twin sons? When you watch what you see up on the monitor up there, what goes through your mind?
Well, the bombing, I think it's cool, and I think we should keep it up. Maybe he'll understand that we're not joking around.
Yeah. Does it scare you at all to see that scene that we're seeing there on that screen up on the monitor there?
Sometimes it does.
What do you think about your dad?
I know that when the ground force goes in, if he's not out of there, when the ground force goes in, they probably will get him.
She knows that her daddy runs the risk of not coming back home, but she also knows that what he is doing is vital and it is necessary, and that is what he has trained 15 years to do.
I just think we have to do what we have to do sometimes, you know, and I think even though we don't like to see that happen, I think it is inevitable.
We were all here this afternoon here at my house, and everyone's spirits were up. We were watching all the different networks that were on, and we just rallied around each other, and that made us all feel really terrific just to be together.
We're scared, but yet we know that if our husbands were here, they wouldn't want us to be scared. We know that that's what they're there for, is to defend our, you know, we just know that's what they're there for.
In these early days of the Gulf War, we watched the cruise missiles and smart bombs homing in on their targets through remote cameras like some great global Nintendo game. The Russian author Dostoevsky wrote of one of his characters, "He prays for storms and dreams that storms will bring him peace." But we too are beginning to learn that after the first rush of adrenaline, war is not an escape, but an escalating nightmare.
The oil is pouring into the shallow Persian Gulf at a disastrous rate, more than 4 million gallons a day, killing hundreds of seabirds, endangering the Gulf's dolphins.
The oil that's being pumped into the terminal is coming from storage tanks onshore at Mina Al Ahmadi, where there's a large Kuwaiti crude oil tank farm. It appears that the Iraqis are using the Sea Island terminal to encourage the oil to spread out into the Gulf. This is clearly an act of environmental terrorism.
A U.S. team of environmental experts is headed to the region to help the Saudis deal with damage from the spill. Defense Secretary Dick Cheney says the U.S. continues to expect a ground war as part of the effort to purge Iraqi occupation troops.
What they're going to do is they're going to go after the quarterback and knock him down.
They're going to go after the quarterback and knock him down. It's like, we're going to get the quarterback. That's right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get the big guy. That's right. I mean, it's an art form. Yeah, I'm going to go and beat the shit out of them. That's what I'm going to do.
The Super Bowl in Tampa, Florida today features what must be the most awesome defensive line in the history of football. Not on the field, around the stadium.
It's the tightest security ever for a sporting event in the United States. Every ticket holder, all 74,000, were checked and scrutinized as they entered Tampa Stadium this afternoon.
I think that America should not stand in fear. I think we should just go forward with our lives and the heck with the man, a sick jerk.
Each box, each case was opened. Technical items were x-rayed. And in the skies, authorities hovered above the stadium in helicopters.
All of life has risks, and I don't think there's any big risk here.
The terrorists are trying to disrupt our lives, not only by the actual acts of terrorism, but by the fear of the acts of terrorism. And we shouldn't give in to that. The best way to fight it is to go about our business.
And now to honor America, especially the brave men and women serving our nation in the Persian Gulf and throughout the world, please join in the singing of our national anthem, sung by Grammy Award winner Whitney Houston.
Hey! We're gonna see her tonight. Bullshit you not. Y'all know where she's from? Of course. Right down there, got
Okay, say something to the folks back home.
Thanks, Lackum, for training me to be here. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right.
Oh, that's going to church, man.
Oh, that's my bad.
Where's the movie tent?
Movie tent's right here. CNN tent is over this side.
It's the other movie.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
This is the NWR.
The geeks that work here.
Hi, Mom.
Email us out.
What's the name of that game you're playing?
I got the faintest idea. Mech Attack or something. Something like that.
And right here's the... Oh, Joey, what you had? Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Where'd you get it?
From the MWR tent where they show all the latest movies. Like,
I thought that was CNN movie tent.
Shannon's in this tent. All the movies are in this tent.
Y'all not in no field conditions, man.
I know.
I thought that was in the field.
I live better here than I do back home. I have my own room, all my own furniture. I got a place to watch movies, have recreation center. They even wash and fold my clothes for me.
Oh, they do?
What else can I ask for?
Man, I thought you was suffering out here in the desert.
America and the protest, yes.
I just want to say that I really resent all these allusions to the fact that somehow I'm anti-American or unpatriotic or do not support the troops. If I didn't love this country as much as anybody up on the stage or in the audience, why would I care so much? I do support the troops by wanting them home and wanting them home alive.
Yes.
You say you support the troops. All of you say you support the troops. My husband is over there and has been there since September. My husband writes to me because I send him the local newspaper. My husband is thoroughly disgusted with the protesters. He's proud of what he's doing. He sees the signs that say we support the troops, and he tells me to tell you to throw them in the trash because they don't mean nothing to him.
Question from the microphone, sir.
I just wanted to say that those of us in the peace movement are often criticized for creating divisiveness. And I want to say that there is a greater evil than creating divisiveness, which we are often accused of. That is blindly supporting an inherently flawed U.S. policy, which this one is. Policymakers in the U.S. are giving insufficient attention to the possible backlash that's going to be created by Muslim fundamentalist groups who in the past have caused the U.S. a great deal of problem in the Persian Gulf. By going into the Middle East and destroying thousands and thousands of Arabs, you create the distinct possibility of a very, very severe backlash movement in that area, which will be catastrophic to U.S. interests in the long run.
I think it's far more.
Take a break, we'll be right back.
We're the camera crew from the Nintendo News Network. Our objective is just to keep the American public happy and detached from the reality of what's going on in the Middle East.
I'm here to challenge the media to take the muzzle off of peace.
The media is nothing but a propaganda tool for the Bush administration. It's a one-sided affair. That's why I'm here protesting against it.
I'm loading these slides that have information and images that represent what we are trying to communicate here today. And I'm going to be projecting these on the buildings as we walk around town here, past NBC, CBS, WNET, and ABC.
This is trying to recreate the joys of the 60s, and it's going to fail. They don't like the United States, and they don't want it to have a role in the world.
They are professional demonstrators who trash America at every opportunity. This is nothing new, and that the media has a responsibility to explain that these are people who will in fact be out on the streets on the last vestiges of daddy's tuition checks anytime, any place, anywhere.
I'm delightfully surprised to see so many people come out. At least it means that a lot of them are starting to feel the way many of the rest of us do about what you see in the media.
The war is for the rich, and the rich should go and fight this goddamn war. Thank you.
This is the most important rally in America today. The Pentagon has its air war, but now the people are waging war against the air that lies to them. As I look across the streets, for once I can see the truth on ABC.
Tell the truth! 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 Tell the
I'm just here to listen to you, okay?
No, I'm asking you a question.
I'm here to learn.
There is a huge anti-war feeling in this country, but you would never know it from watching ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, or any of those stations. And this is what we are protesting.
In one sense, these anti-war activists are disproving their own theory by getting massive press coverage for their peace parade. Freedom of expression being one of the principles for which Americans are fighting and dying in the Persian Gulf.
When you come down to cover these people, you give them political validity. What they say is no more valid than what the American people want, and that's why they elected President Bush. Tell them the 60s are over. Go home.
The President of the United States!
The media is doing a fine job. With the media behind us, we can conquer the world.
Mr. President! Mr. President! Mr. President! Mr. President! What about Saddam Hussein?
Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler.
Saddam Hussein! Adolf Hitler! Saddam Hussein! Adolf Hitler!
There's going to be a new world order.
New World Order! New World Order! New World Order! New World Order!
This president sees this episode as the first test case, as the first example for the new world order he is trying to organize. Now, a lot of people think the whole idea is fanciful, and who knows, it may be, but he certainly believes in it, and he believes that the way all this comes out will be an object lesson for other dictators and other miscreants around the world.
Well,
so
Bert, let me ask you something I asked you. We were talking about on the telephone earlier today. If the White House thinks it needs to have Saddam Hussein's head on a plate, not to put too fine a point on it, do they think they can get it?
Well, I don't. If you mean by that, Peter, do they feel they can actually topple him or kill him or otherwise drive him out of power? The answer is there's not any certainty they can do that, although they wouldn't mind a bit if that happened.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Tonight, America at war.
Good evening. While American officials at the highest level continue to say publicly there is no hurry on the ground war, there are more and more signs tonight it may be sooner rather than later.
Quit smiling,
Ready?
Jill. This is serious.
Come on, Mom.
Oh, barbarians.
I just hope nobody gets killed.
What's that you say from the news press here?
I really am hoping that not one single person gets
I'm sorry, we have a new report from Saudi Arabia now.
Me.
Okay,
Oh, my word.
yes.
The siren just went off. Get your gas mask on. This isn't funny.
Back to Washington
If you
now.
don't know really how to pray, folks, learn. It's Our Father,
Who art
which
in heaven, hallowed be thy
protect
name.
me.
This is a solemn occasion, really. It's not funny. We are at
I
war.
think the reason we are not really all that worried because we don't know a single soul over there.
That's right.
We would feel different if it was you over there, Jason.
Bridget, Mama.
Mama?
Yes, if you were over there, I would Be very upset.
Hey, that makes me feel good. Back to this Jewish guy, yeah?
It is important to remember, of course, that while Iraqis have allowed Western reporters into Baghdad, they still keep them from Kuwait.
There are increasing signs and strong reports that the Allied ground war to take back Kuwait from Iraq has already begun.
CBS News has put together an animation display showing what that battlefield looks like, working with models and a lot of special effects and the modern television technology. We're going to take a look at it now just to talk about what this battlefield looks like, and what we have, 2,000 tanks, I guess.
That's right, 2,000 tanks, 2,000 M1A1 Abrams tanks.
No, they don't outshoot us. They just got to shoot first. We're going to go in there and level the fucking...
We're going to level the town.
BC ready to kick some ass.
Beautiful downtown Iraq. As you can see, lovely AO.
Yep, we're going to go up north and set right outside of that town.
Pound the shit out of them.
Pound the hell out of them. It's going to be great.
Going to war with George Strait.
We are in the war.
Wouldn't go with nobody else. When you sit down. Hey, get back over here to that Bradley behind me, man. Can you see me in the Bradley too? All right. But I know that it's true. She loves me, she don't love me.
Shot under the wings. No, he ain't. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. He's doing that shit on purpose. Oh, look him up. We love it. Put the stadium drawers. First sword. Check it out. First sword. First sword. Oh, hell, here he comes. Woo! Oh, look at all that shit he's got on his wing. Oh, yeah. Just don't say shit to him. Hey, don't say shit to him. Don't make any noise. There are 11 Iraqi EPWs behind me now as I speak. Average age 17 to 21. Don't see nothing much older than that. That's only possibly 11 out of the 70 we captured last night. Oh, look at them.
Well, they tell those motherfuckers to get down, they get down. That's some obedient motherfuckers.
Put your hand in your hair, goddamn.
This is what your Iraqis did to this country. They set it on fire. Just look. Peace-loving people of Iraq. They did this. Peace-loving people, my.
This is the New York Giants inside their new bullpen. Or better yet, the Buffalo Bills in the new bullpen. Training camp for the Bills for 91. Have yet to issue them shoes. Yeah.
It's recording.
Is it? Does it say record? Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him say something, man. Get him say something.
Hello.
Bush. I don't know. What kind of bush? They're saying bush.
Bush. Oh, Jorge, I guess.
Good? What's up, Chico? Go ahead.
This is a conqueror here.
What?
Yeah. George Bush.
There you go. Look at the camera.
The camera.
Gonna suck back down.
You don't like that?
What do you think about that, huh?
They don't look like it, huh?
I have this one. Which one do you want, Chippy? Take your pick. I'll take them all. He's going to take them all.
All right. So we're taking them, yeah.
Take him back, Baghdad.
Yeah.
Go back, Baghdad. Pope, what you got? What's this? What's this guy want to give me Iraqi money? Let me see. What's this?
So down, that's it.
Yep.
No, I don't want to do it. I want to drop it on the ground and step on it and shit.
Got it, sir. I got the Chinook on.
Tell all these guys are going to Israel.
I got the Chinook on, sir. Ooh.
If you guys don't know, at 0800, there's supposed to be a ceasefire. All right? We've accomplished our mission so far, but don't keep your heads down. Keep them up. Okay?
In 2 hours, it's over. Who said that?
President Bush.
It's on the radio? What is it? No, man, in 2 hours, it's over. In 2 hours, it's over. Yeah!
It could have been a lot tougher than this.
We thought it would be. We really did. We thought it'd be a lot tougher.
How can you explain that it hasn't been?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm glad it's like this, but I have no idea why it is.
Yes, the ceasefire is on, and it looks like we made it. Bravo Battery has made it through the war with 0 casualties. Thumbs up. Go Bulls! We're out of here.
Topping our news, Iraq's Saddam Hussein tells his people they have faced the whole world and won. In an address on Baghdad radio, Mr. Hussein says Iraqi troops are withdrawing from Kuwait and will be out by today.
In this matter of battles, we have succeeded in harvesting what we have sowed. The great harvest will be much more than at the present time. God will support the Mujahideen for their great jihad on the Arab world level and on international level.
Back home. Howdy, be home soon.
You? What is it?
It's an A10, man.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, one of the baddest jets in the world, huh?
What's up, fellas? You don't want the camera?
Catch up to you. He could tell you the deal. You had sex on your bike, right?
What?
Going down the highway?
There's JC.
I've never had sex in my life.
Okay, viewers, back in Australia. I have Jude here. All right, so Jude, how long are you in Saudi for?
I've been here 5 months, and I'm going to be here about 4 more. And the army hates me. The army wants to put me in jail for these. I'm wearing jungle boots, and I do have my M16. You got that? Okay.
That's lovely, Jude.
That's just me. And here's another. See? Pretty good. And the army wants to put me in jail for these. The CID arrested me and took me away in handcuffs for these. They took all my stripes and all my money for a whole month. So I'll be out here for the next month, not making any money. Maybe I could sell these photos and get back what I lost. This is my favorite, this one.
All right, I better get a zoom in on that.
There you go. See, I'm wearing my dog tags. I really am in the army. I am not your classic soldier. I defy authority, and I've come to Saudi to break every rule.
But you're free and easy. You're a hippie, maybe, Jude. Would you classify yourself as a hippie?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Peace.
Lovely. Thank you very much for the interview, Jude. We'll get on to drinking with Siddiqui now.
The more we drink, the less we wear. Be
Dear
back
me.
later.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States!
As Commander-in-Chief and as President, I can report to the nation, aggression is defeated, the war is over. Tonight, as our troops begin to come home, let us recognize that the hard work of freedom still calls us forward. We've learned the hard lessons of history. The victory over Iraq was not waged as a war to end all wars. Even the New World Order cannot guarantee an era of perpetual peace, but enduring peace must be our mission. And I guarantee you, no one will work harder for a stable peace in the region than we will. We are Americans. May God bless this great nation, the United States of America. Thank you all very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to America's tribute to the men and women of the armed forces. It began at 2100 hours, 16 January 1991, in the skies over Baghdad. A black, dark light shape moved swiftly through the Arabian night, undetected and unseen. Ladies and gentlemen, the F-117 stealth fighter. And while set against the most formidable air defenses ever faced by American airmen, not a single stealth was lost. The F-117 combining stealth technology with precision delivery to help ensure Allied air superiority.
Kind of makes you proud to be an American, don't it?
A little bit too military hardware-ish for me. Washington Monument kind of looks like one great big missile in this context.
You gonna take a picture?
Sure. How often does one get an opportunity like this?
Thank you.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Not that bad. I mean, if you're trying to run a mile. Is this the trigger?
I've always liked the guns and stuff. How much does it weigh? Considering a smart gun operator.
I have.
Yeah, you look like it. That sign tells it all, buddy.
I have.
You're celebrating that damn sign.
I'm welcoming them back, and I'm telling them, don't go out there again.
Everybody
don't do it again. I hope they don't go out and kill anybody again. We're just protesting. We're trying to make people think a little bit, and we're expressing ourselves, and we have the right to express ourselves. We have the right to express ourselves. They should pay for our education and our health care instead of war. I just believe that's the way I think. You know, I mean, it's a big deal.
Rome thought the same way 2,000 years ago. They said we must enlighten ourselves and go for peace. And what happened? They let down.
Ideas are much stronger.
Their philosophy is, you want peace, prepare for war. They were right. They were prosperous.
Let's stop it all right here. First of all, the only problem we got here is these folks are trying to generate a crowd, some enthusiasm. If you don't confront them, you don't give them a platform.
So don't discuss it.
So
Absolutely.
just ignore them.
Forget the ideas.
Ideas are worthless.
They got to do fine circle for you.
The media won't capture anything. The media's not going to capture anything if you ignore them.
And in New York this weekend, they're painting Broadway with yellow ribbons for an even bigger victory parade that will take place on Monday. It will include 20,000 members of the military and is expected to draw 2 million spectators.
Unreal. Unfucking real. They won't let me on. He'd rather hit me. Right. The guy would rather hit me.
They've just mowed down
this fucking gook. I'm trying to cut in front so the cop doesn't see.
Right.
And this fucking Chinese guy won't let me in. He'd rather smack his car up than let me in. So he hit me.
Right.
I get out of the car. I want to rip his ears out.
Right.
He's like, oh, but I don't know. I'm like, come on. Unbelievable. Only in New York. Are you going to take a full hour? You're going to take a full hour, 1 hour?
Hey, beggars can't be choicey.
Beggars can't be choicey. Come on. Come on, Phil. Let's do it. Oh.
Man, this shit is higher than the...
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that is something. That's nice. Yeah, that was worth it.
Right?
Clean.
Where? Oh, it's like not much.
Wow, this is nice.
I think so.
Yeah, this is worth seeing. I think I'm Superman. I can fly.
Isn't this like being Superman?
And the crowd is just going off. It's pandemonium down here in the Canyon of Heroes. Look at the shot, look at the confetti, look at the ticker tape. It's a wonder. It's the mother of all parades.
from Long Island? Daniel, you were here to see a special friend yourself, right? Yes. A pen pal. Who's that? Norman Schwarzkopf. I like seeing Norman Schwarzkopf. I like seeing Dick Cheney and Colin Powell also.
The great harvest will be much more than at the present time.
All Muslims should strike at American interests anywhere. Saddam Hussein says it's now time for the holy war to spread.
I'm confident that we can deal with the terrorist threat.
Police in New York are keeping a close eye on Middle Eastern neighborhoods.
Well, regrettably, I think there will be terrorism here this time.
The best way to fight it is to go about our business.
I think that America should not stand in fear. I think we should just go forward with our lives.
The bombing, I think, is cool, and I think we should keep it up.
The death and destruction caused will not, in my opinion, soon be forgotten by the Third World in general and by the poor people of the Middle East in particular.
I think that we should follow our government because they know a lot more than we do about it. So I think that they're right in what they say and what they do.
tree.